Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Antiheroes Anonymous, or welcome for the first time if it's your first time joining us. I'm Ethan, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons show. I will have some announcements and a recap for all of you, but before we dive into any of that, Nick, would you go ahead and start off a quick round of character introductions?
Sure. Hi, I'm Nick. I play Embers of White Ash, Sun Soul Tabaxi Monk.
Hi, I'm Kay. I play Lady Elvin Amelos, who is a elvish Circle of the Land druid.
Hello there, I'm Melissa, and I play Tuppence Wiseacre, the Court of the Sky Pixie Bard.
Hi, I'm Zach, and I play Vertnor Oranglass, who is a changeling armor artificer.
What's good? I'm Jordan. I'm playing Yerdad Rod, the Orc Life Cleric. Yep, you forgot his last name, didn't you?
Thank you, guys.
It's so good.
Makes me chuckle every time. Before I dive into our regular set of announcements, Jordan, here's your opportunity to just say whatever you want to say about whatever you're doing.
So we've got opening May 20th, my show Riverwood at Seattle Public Theater, and then later the Youngstown Cultural Arts, or not Youngstown, the Langston Hughes Cultural Arts Center. I am tired. It's been a weekend. But yeah, we open May 20th. We started rehearsals this last week, and it's something special, y'all.
Yeah, that sounds really exciting. Cool. I'll run through our announcements really quick because they're just regular and normal and not very exciting. And then we'll dive into our intro video and just get going. We premiere our episodes on YouTube every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Throughout the show, we use a variety of custom items as well as a custom pixie lineage. So be aware of that as you're watching. Our character portraits, which you'll see on the info cards and kind of all over the layout, were drawn by an artist named Krista Porter with 2 R's on the end on Twitter. If you need a refresher on anything that's going on in this campaign, we have a campaign wiki at World Anvil, so you can go there to check that out. Other than that, you can look at the video description for links and information to everything I just mentioned and more, including some links to some Black Lives Matter and Stop Asian Hate resources. Finally, you can follow us on Twitter at Antiheroes Anon, and we just hope you enjoy the show, share it with your friends, and come back to watch some more. Zach, roll the intro video. And welcome back. Previously on Antiheroes Anonymous, the Silver Seekers have been taking an extended stop in Fimir, the capital of Sergil, on their way to their new keep in Amberhearth. While at a lavish inn run by a cousin of Nora Froth-Tankard, who goes by the name of Tasha Froth-Tankard, they met with Yerdad, an Orcish cleric of Bahamut. While doing some research at the Argent Athenaeum, which happens to be the foremost library in the Thracian Empire, a strange woman named Esme dragged them into a book-based demiplane, which depicted the history of Emperor Stratos. Esme then revealed that in a very shocking turn of events, both she and the Emperor happened to be from space, though they came at very different times in Alen'dal's history. And she tasked the party with helping her recover her confiscated spacecraft, the Infiltrator, as well as her alien companion, Yerp, who happens to be an ooze person. But first, the group happens to have a convention to attend. So that, I think, takes priority, obviously, over any rescue missions. So we will open up with the group of you feeling nice and well rested after a night in why am I blanking on the name of the place? Tasha's Tap Room. And you've had a nice breakfast. The downstairs area of the tap room is pretty much just like a buzz with various con goers who are also staying in the hotel, trying to get their food and get out to the Argent Athenaeum for Rom Con to start. So there's just kind of this really buzzing, hyped energy in the lobby when the group of you group up in the morning. And I'll turn it over to you.
So between last night and this morning, I would ask Embers to help me cobble up a outfit if I need their help for the street vendor cosplay
Oh,
that your
right.
dad mentioned to me.
Yeah, I can help you out with that.
Yeah, so it'd be a team effort, and then I would cosplay as a street vendor from what book was it?
Celestial.
So
No, what?
Starlight.
think it
something?
was
I
Celestial.
think it was Celestial Crossing. Yeah.
Okay, Celestial Crossing. Do a little turn for everybody. Be like, how do I look?
Embers, do you want to roll your sewing check
Sure.
to see how that goes?
Guidance.
There you go.
Remember your signature line?
I'll like grab someone's copy of the book and look through it.
What a cute couple.
Yeah, that's right.
The dirty 20.
Oh, nice. Okay. So when Coco does his turn, man, he is embodying street vendor today. There's the red and white stripes, perfectly tailored loosely, though. I mean, as a street vendor would be wearing their outfit. Embers, maybe you had the inspiration to like splash some ketchup or mustard on it. It looks perfect.
Now, Coco, I do have to warn you, some people will not understand who you're cosplaying as and may ask you to look at your wares.
That's okay. I'm prepared to handle those people.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm sure we can sell them some things that we found anyways, so maybe it'll work.
Did you say underwears? What? What are you talking about?
We can sell them underwears.
I should mention that your son is also here with your dad. Your son, as he mentioned, is wearing the cosplay that he bought for the character. He doesn't know who it is. Seems to be some sort of scientist character. There's like a lab coat involved, a pocket with lots of like quills and things like small ink vials and things like that on it. There's a clipboard that came with it. Which character he is cosplaying, nobody knows, but some sort of scientist-y character. And then Torin is also coming along, mostly out of a little bit of boredom for not really having much to do the past week.
Okay.
We all got to mark a long rest, I assume.
Mhm.
Okay. I don't know if we used any abilities the previous day, but I had temp HP and stuff left over, so.
I think all the book stuff was like just consolidated, like it just isolated in the book, right? Like that didn't actually affect us, did it?
It did.
Oh, it did?
It
Okay.
did.
But-
It did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually got a little bit hurt. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I got beat up a bit.
Mm,
So yeah,
Well,
mark
that's all
those long
recovered
rests.
now.
excellent. Well, shall we go then?
So you can see your dad is buzzing. He is a small child in the body of a middle-aged orc.
How's his bartender cosplay look?
Oh, it's flawless. You can see on the apron, there's actually a small emblem that, because it's a very nice like leather apron that you'd think would be for blacksmithing and not bartending, but it's like his old one. It has a small burned in emblem that's just a chair that's missing a leg. From his former profession. It's
Wow,
gone
everyone just
day.
looks so dashing this morning.
Feel very underdressed.
I know, right? I'm
So
surprised you don't have a costume for yourself, Embers.
Well, I mean, if you want one, you could probably buy one there, your son says.
That's okay.
That's doubtful for me, but I like my clothes anyway.
You never know. They
Um,
might have some doll clothes that might fit you.
I just wonder about the quality, if it actually hold up to being, worn by someone that moves.
Good point. Is everyone ready?
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right. Then you make your way out into the city, and it is, unfortunately for those of you with sensitive eyes, it's kind of a bright spring day for the moment. There's a few clouds in the sky. It might cloud over later, but it does look a bit sunny for the moment. There's like kind of a dew glistening on the patches of grass and things like that that are throughout the city. But as far as like spring days go, it's pretty warm and comfortable, and you can easily make your way over to the Argent Athenaeum via whatever method of transport you choose. There's trains, there's taxis, you could walk it, really whatever you want. And when you arrive, the massive sort of lawn, it's almost more like a park area that kind of surrounds the library itself, has been transformed to just like contain pop-up tent after pop-up tent after pop-up tent. There's just tents all over the place, kind of as far as the eye can see. And people are already starting to swarm to this area and bustle about it. And the entire area seems to have been kind of fenced off a little bit. And there are stewards of the Argent Athenaeum kind of standing behind the fence that surrounds the park and kind of gesturing and like motioning guests towards a singular entrance area, which you end up kind of having to sit in line for a little bit because there seems to be like one singular entrance and a massive crowd moving through it. But while you're waiting there, why don't you all roll a perception check?
Ethan, is Krista's character also going to be a bartender? 'Cause that would mean all
we'll
three
see.
of them.
That would be it. It's good. She's going to be a bartender cleric, and we'll be 3 for 3.
Yes, exactly.
No, she's a very different character from anyone who's been on so far.
Okay.
I got an 8.
Embers, you're kind of, I think, maybe a little bit overwhelmed by the crowd.
With disadvantage, I got 13.
Oh,
That's
we have
not bad.
disadvantage. Are we outdoors?
Yeah, it's a bright day.
Okay. Oh, I got the same thing. I got a 14.
11.
Not good for your dad. Okay.
No, I'm paying attention to nothing.
Well, then I think Elwin and Vert, you're the two most alert in this moment. And you notice a little ways away, kind of down along the fence a little ways. It seems like the fence is being pulled back a little bit to create an opening. And now that you look there, you can actually see that like a red carpet has kind of been laid out along a pathway that leads to the library itself. And you have just a prime view as these elongated luxury motor vehicles pull up to that sort of area that they're opening up. And you can see a number of individuals getting out of these vehicles and sort of heading without any sort of hassle, going through any lines or anything like that towards the library. And among them, you spot, let's see, a pair of halflings, both with kind of curly brownish hair, One of them kind of seems to be sort of like a middle-aged woman, and she's kind of holding hands with a middle-aged man. Both of them just have kind of like broad smiles on their faces. The woman has a messenger cap that she wears atop her curls. Out of the next elongated luxury motor vehicle, let's see, where's my description of this person? A tall, like very tall elvish woman with sort of brownish skin. And you can see even at this distance, she has like piercing green eyes. She gets out of the car and she is just dressed in like a very stunning sort of greenish dress. And she actually has little bits of like greenery, kind of like actual plants adorning her body. And she gets out and she kind of pushes up her glasses, which seem to be made of kind of elegant little twig tree branches, surveys the crowd, and then begins walking sort of elegantly towards the library. Out of the next one steps where is this character? Now I'm in the research section of my notes. That's not what I need. Here we go. A small gnomish man, looks like. Kind of older looking, a little bit disheveled. But he gets out and he kind of carries himself with a very proud manner as he begins to strut down this red carpet towards the library. And finally, a human woman. And this human woman has on a headband that has a pair of cat ears that has like fur on it. And she also seems to have fixed like a tail to either her, the shirt or the pants that she is wearing. And she and her retinue of people begin to make their way towards the library as well. And I think that you would probably recognize at least one among those, the elven woman. I think you said you were a fan of Raylan Tree Snarl. That would be her.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I've read some of her work, yes. As I catch sight of them, I'll just kind of elbow Coco as I see him kind of looking in that direction too. And I'll be like, the guests of honor.
Yeah, and Coco will point at the halflings, be like, what a cute couple.
He said the thing.
Hey, you said the thing. That's great. I'm so glad you're getting into this. I love it.
Yep.
But eventually you get up to the front of the line and it's time to purchase your passes. Because you guys all have library cards, unfortunately Torin doesn't, but the rest of you do, you can get in for 5 gold pieces instead of 10. And that'll get you
What a
a
bargain.
pass for all 3 days of Rom Con.
Are we all just going to pay for our own way?
No, we
Yeah,
can.
do it.
I was gonna say
We all
we
got-
can. The
and-
party funds
I
have
mean-
plenty.
I've got enough pocket change to cover it too, so I'm just.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean, I thought your dad was paying.
Oh,
I was
trust
told that-
me, if you say that, he will pay, but
No, I was actually specifically told to not do that anymore. Yeah.
Oh, I'm just.
So-
your son
I'm just-
nods.
I'll pay for your dad's ticket as well.
Oh, but thank you. But I can cover myself. It's no problem at all.
It's too late. I already got it.
All right.
Hey, Dad, I'll let you pay for me if you want, if you really want to pay.
I was already planning on paying for you, so
Well, I've got my own money. That shouldn't be an assumption.
I know, but you need to use your own money to make sure that you keep up your research.
Well, okay, sure, fine, fair enough.
Hey, Yerson,
Uh-huh.
Who are you looking forward to seeing?
This isn't really my thing. I'm really just gonna tag along with my dad, and we're just gonna go wherever he wants to go. It's his day.
Okay.
And Torin kind of flashes your son a smile and says, "Yeah, it's not really my thing either, but should be fun anyways." But
Okay,
yeah,
so do we want to go like look at like stuff to buy first, or should we try and get in line for one of the signings, or which do you all want to do first?
My vote's for shopping. I
Well,
don't
we
know.
can always divide and conquer too. Your dad, where would you like to start?
I mean, the lines do get really long for the signings, so it's always nice to try and get in on those first, but then you miss out on the really cool buttons.
Right.
Yes, divide and conquer. I like your idea, Ellen.
Right. Well,
Well-
yeah, some of us can hold a place in line and the others can go and check out the shops and we can trade places.
Your son is trying to like fasten his pass onto his lanyard and having a little bit of trouble, but he finally gets it. And then he kind of darts forward about like 15, 20 feet to like there's a little stand, and he comes back with a bunch of brochures, and kind of hands one out to everyone. And on the front, they say Rom Con 7539 for the year. And within, there is a plethora of information about what's available. And it is pretty much everything you could imagine, from various shops to signings to panels. There also seem to be some games and things like that. There's a cosplay contest. There's a fan art contest. There's like live music. There's opportunities for like karaoke and stuff like that. Yeah, the world is your oyster. The one thing I will say is at the end of each of the 3 days, there's kind of like a major event. The first day ends with what they're calling speed signing, which is it's like speed dating, but basically just, you cycle through each of the main headlining authors, and can get a few minutes to sort of talk with each one while they sign for you. The second day is ending with sort of like a select group of people found throughout the first day's karaoke, doing some love song karaoke. And then the third day is ending in a masquerade ball. But other than that, you pretty much have freedom to do whatever you want.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Well, I mean,
Well-
if there's speed signing today, we don't really need to wait in line for the long signings. I mean, I would just get tongue tied actually having time to talk to any of the authors. So
All right.
Oh my gosh, what's that smell? Something smells so good, and I don't think it's cocoa.
There
Debbie's
is
gonna
plenty of
follow her
food.
nose. Debbie's gonna follow her
Um,
nose and go
There she
grab
is.
whatever it is.
There is a pastry stand where all of the
That's it.
pastries are formed in the shape of like hearts or flowers, or some of them have even been decorated in like the shapes of faces of various characters from famous books.
That's where I'm heading.
You can pretty
So
much
is
just like
this
buy.
whole-
I mean, you guys are rich. You can buy as many pastries as you want for like a silver. So
So the whole con is happening just in the park around the library? Or
It-
is there stuff happening inside the library too?
So the brochure would have a map. There is stuff happening inside the library as well. Like a lot of the panels and the bigger events are going to happen probably within. But the outside spaces seem to be more like independent vendors and things like that. Like there's a lot of stands where people are doing like art kind of on the fly, or they have art for sale. Or there's like, various handmade merchandise and things like that. It's a lot of sort of independent or like independently published novels / fanfics that are for sale, stuff like that. It's like the independent section, and then the more official stuff is within.
Within, I see.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like we're all just going our own way. So I'd like to just wander and see if something catches my eye. And any of you is free to join me, or you can go off and follow your heart. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? Embers, do you want to come with me?
Oh, I had my own idea about what I wanted to do first.
Great. We'll have a good time.
Ember's just nice.
Torin says, maybe we all meet up for lunch or something around noon.
That sounds great.
Sure.
Right
Sure.
back here.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Lunch by the pastry stall.
Yeah, works for me.
All right. So what are the groups, and who wants to go first? Silence.
I'll go with Elwin.
well, I was going to invite you, so
Yep.
good. Yeah, I kind of want to wander in the direction of the site of the crash.
That's what I wanted to do too.
Yep.
I actually took a note for that. I'm like, I know what we're doing.
Yeah, maybe they talked about it ahead of time and they were like, we
Nope.
need to do this while we're there.
I don't think so. I think we're just like synchronized.
We didn't actually plan this though. That's
Nope.
funny. I just want to scope it out and see what the situation is over there right now.
Okay. Yeah, you wander over towards that tower, and even getting up, even from a little ways away, you can see before you get too close to it that they've finally, done some work up in like the upper tower area to close off the hole where a chunk was taken out. Really, it just looks like they've put up some boards in front of the giant hole, and haven't really begun any official construction there yet. But the area sort of around that tower and in front of that tower has just been taken up by, various stalls and what have you. So you can pretty easily disguise an investigation around that area as just perusing amongst the various wares.
I would like to do.
So I'd like to, if it's possible, recall from Esme's memory that I saw and how the ship sort of, if it crashed and if parts of it flew off, and start investigating those areas so I can find a part of the ship.
Why don't you roll a retroactive perception check?
I shall. Oh, that's not bad. That is dirty 20.
Okay. From your recollection of the vision, a lot of it was kind of jumbled because the entry into this planet's atmosphere was kind of rough. Sorry, what was your number one more time?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, that's what I thought. And the other complicating factor is that Esme kind of lost consciousness for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But you do think you remember sort of the ship hit the tower, and then there's sort of that brief moment before like the ship collided with the ground after hitting the tower, and Esme got thrown from it.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment, you do think maybe some parts of the ship flew off to areas a little ways away. So if you want to go check those areas out, you could, certainly.
Yeah, if they're within the grounds of this convention, then sure.
Elwin, what do you want to do with your initial search?
Well, I'm going to be helping
Okay.
Vert, I think.
So then the two of you go off towards, sort of the directions where you thought maybe something might have flown off the ship, why don't you roll a investigation check, and whoever does it can take it at advantage.
Do you want a little bit of extra oomph? I can give you some. What's it called? Fox's cunning.
What does that do?
It makes it a little bit easier for you to do things that would use intelligence, basically. Gives you advantage.
Isn't that
on
what?
Intelligence-based checks. I'm talking about enhanceability. Do you want
Right. No, I
enhanceability
know
for
that,
your
but
intelligence?
if you're gonna help me anyways, wouldn't I already have advantage, or do you want to roll 2 checks and have one of us have advantage for better odds? Is that what you're suggesting?
I thought we were rolling 2 checks anyway because we were checking 2 different places, but
I think
maybe I misunderstood.
with what you just said, we could do 2 checks and one could be an advantage, one would be normal, and then if we don't do that, then one of us could help the other and have 1 check with advantage.
Yeah, Kay, I had
me-
thought you said that Elwyn was sort of helping Vert looked, so I assumed you would be looking in the same area. But if you want to look
Never
in
mind
different
then.
areas,
Never mind then. We can
We
look in the
can-
same area and I will
okay.
help you and
It's
give
totally
you
up to you.
advantage.
Yeah, if you want to do 2 separate checks, that's better odds.
If I can save a spell slot, I can save a spell slot.
That too. So okay, you can
I
help
also
me.
prepared locate object today, so
Okay,
that's also a second level that I can.
that is a good idea.
use.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I already
So
rolled.
you roll with advantage.
Yep, and I got a 24 on investigation.
that's really good. So it looks like they did a pretty good cleanup job here. You can tell that like the ship when it crash landed cut up a tract of land, but they've like filled in dirt over that. I mean, the grass hasn't had a time to grow there or anything like that, so you can still see where it was, but it's well filled in, and the area around it seems pretty well cleared of debris and wreckage. But that's a pretty high roll, so I'm gonna give you something good. You find a small hunk of metal, familiar to you in particular, since you just spent a week researching something quite similar. It is a octahedron shaped chunk of metal in a very similar to the one you found in Sergil's burial ground, but this one is much smaller than the one you previously had. This one is, I mean, probably similar to like the size of a die, whereas the other one is more of like you have to like hold it in 2 hands sort of thing. And this one, rather than feeling cold, seems to pulse with like heat and warmth. And also, when you hold it, there's like a slight ringing, you feel like, kind of in your ears. But you can see carved onto it in draconic runes is the name Esamir.
ESAMIR?
ESEMIR.
Okay.
Yes, Esamir. Which Esme said is her full name. She just goes by Esme.
Did we? I forgot. I don't remember. Did we?
Oh, sorry. ESMEIR. So it's Esmer.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
S.
My bad.
Got it. Did we know if Esme was coming with us to this, or like invisible or not?
She was going to find you here, is what she said.
Okay. So then when she finds us, I will let her see this. Okay. So yeah, we'll just kind of look
Kind
at
of
it,
also-
pocket it.
While he's kind of taking a look at that, I'm gonna look around at the crowd and see if I can see any more of those Dragonborn agents just maybe trying to make themselves scarce or hide or whatever.
Roll a perception check.
Sure. I assume I have disadvantage on this one again.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, that's fine. Oh boy. Well, one of them was good. Too bad. That's an 11.
There are a lot of Dragonborn amongst the crowd. You don't manage to spot any of the, so you don't see the very heavily armored one who seemed to be in command yesterday, and you don't see all of the lackeys. They seem to have like wings, as you recall, and you don't see any winged Dragonborn. So if they're here, they're out of sight. You do notice, though, the sort of metallic sentinels of the library seem to be, they seem to have expanded their radius and are kind of patrolling through the crowds and things on the outside as well. Let's hop over to someone else. Who wants to go next? And then we'll come back to you two.
I'll go.
Okay. What's Embers up to?
Embers went straight to stand in line for Alice Rose Dancer's signing.
Okay. Yeah, so there's actually signings pretty much periodically throughout the day that are for free. And then the speed signing session, you pay a little bit to get a sort of actual conversation and all of that. But the line for Alice Rose Dancer, this would be inside the library itself, using sort of one of the many study rooms. The line already has started to grow pretty long. Let me check what's going on with Alice here at the convention. Aha, it is her day today. So when you walk into the main area of the library, you see that there is sort of a big billboard that displays it basically says along the lines of today's announcements. And then underneath there's a big poster from both. There's one from Alice Rose Dancer and there's one from Lawrence Starpike. And it seems they both have big announcements today. And Alice Rose Dancer's poster is announcing two things, actually. Her long untitled book about lamias is finally releasing with her new publisher under the new title of Lambada with the Lamia. And she also has a brand new book that she is announcing and selling for the first time today, which is called Swing with the Sphinx. So yeah, it seems like she has a lot of buzz today because today is her announcement day. And so there is a pretty long line already out front of her signing, and pretty much everyone there also has like cat ears and is wearing various cosplays that are feline themed as well. And as you sit there in line, you feel a tap on your shoulder.
I look around.
There's no one there. And as you kind of look back the other way, the way you were facing originally, Esme is there kind of with a big grin on her face.
Oh. Not many people who can sneak up on me.
Well, I'm pretty good at sneaking up on a lot of people. Most of the time anyways.
It's nice to see you.
I said I'd come, and so here I am.
You haven't read any of these books, have you?
No, should I? Or are they of significant historical relevance or culturally significant?
Definitely the second one.
She starts glancing around at, there's various stands where like Alice Rose Dancer's books, particularly in this section, and then on another section of the library, a lot of Lawrence's books are available for sale. And she kind of cranes her neck to look at what's available. Any ones in particular that you'd recommend for a complete beginner?
Well, I'm in line for who I personally think is the best author here, to try and get my own personal copy signed. And she has a new book that I will probably be picking up.
Well, if you want, I could hop out of line and go pick up your copy for you while you wait.
That would be really nice of you. Thank you. And I can.
Yeah. She goes to walk away and then turns back to you and says, I don't have any
Right.
money.
And yes. And like Embers fishes out some gold and like hands it over.
Yeah, she'll dash off, and it's a little while before she's able to make it back to you. But when she comes back, she is, let's see, for one of these new books. Do you want both of the books?
Man, yes, obviously.
Okay. She is 40 gold lighter.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because each of these cost 20 GP.
Yeah, that'll have to come out of the party fund. Sorry.
Books are expensive,
That's all right.
apparently. I was looking at the player's handbook and I was like, 25 gold for a book. Wow.
Yeah.
I
They didn't-
lowered it
they
to
didn't have-
20.
Well, maybe they do have the printing press by then. I don't know.
That's true. They would. I'm just going to lower my price down to 15 total then.
Okay.
So she comes back 30 gold lighter.
Okay. Got it.
That's a good point. And she says, yeah, I wasn't sure which one to get you, so I got both of these ones. Apparently they're new.
Oh yeah, I haven't read either of those yet. Maybe I could read one and you could read the other one. We could swap.
Sure. And yeah, she kind of offers both to you so you can pick which one you want.
I'm gonna pick the Sphinx one.
Okay. Yeah, she cracks open the Lambada with the Lamia. And she starts reading like the foreword, and she goes, wow, did it really take this author 25 years to get this thing into publication?
There was a problem with the publisher. There was a big legal battle, I think.
Yeah, that's what it says here. Well, that's incredible. And she kind of flips forward to chapter 1 and starts reading.
I think in all that time, Raylan Truthnaw published something like 10 or 12 books.
Esme kind of gives you a impressed look and says, I'm assuming that's a lot.
Mhm.
I mean, it would be a lot from my perspective, but you know, things are pretty different here. So you never know.
What do you like to read? What's your favorite?
Oh, I mostly read. You'll laugh at me, but I like to read textbooks about, you know, astronomy. I like to learn about the different planets, you know, that surround our star.
Mhm. That's not silly. I mean, I like to read. When I picked up reading, I started to read a lot of histories because I wanted to know more about the world around me. And that's sort of what you're doing, but with a different sort of world. Sorry, should I not be talking about this?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we should keep that part hush tones if we're
Yeah.
talking about in specifics.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is my first. I've studied other planets, you know, my entire life, but this is my first time actually coming to one.
Sorry, I apparently have something of a tendency to blurt secrets out without
Hmm.
thinking.
She kind of frowns a little bit at that, and then starts to go back to reading, but she doesn't read for very long before she pipes up again and says, so actually I meant to ask you,
Mhm.
what's the customary practice, you know, after the educational experience that, you know, we went through together the other night?
Oh, well, I guess it depends on how serious both people feel about it. I don't
She
know.
kind of nods seriously and takes a couple notes in her own personal notebook.
You know, if sometimes if people are really serious about it with each other, then maybe they'll do it a few times. But if some other times it's just more of like a one-time thing that's just for fun.
I see. Well, and how do you feel about it? She's
Well,
got her notebook poised to like take notes on what you say.
yeah. I mean, you're from somewhere else and trying to get back there, and I'm also on my way elsewhere. So I didn't think that it was going to lead to anything really.
She jots that down. Yeah, that makes sense. To be honest, I kind of leapt before I understood the social practice, so it's probably about where I stand too.
Mhm.
It was
But
fun though.
But I am here for a few more nights if you want to have more fun.
It might be interesting to see how repeat experiences compare and contrast with the original.
Mhm.
She kind of gives a flirty little smile. And then she points to there's a pair, there's like a human and a dwarf, and they're a little ways off, and they're both in cosplay, but they're holding hands. And as you look around, there's actually a lot of couples around Rom Con. And she points at this pair and she says, "Now, what's the point of that custom?"
Oh, that's kind of a sign for when people are serious and want everyone to know it. Then they'll it's called a public display of affection.
Scribbles in her notepad. So we
Mhm.
definitely shouldn't do that then.
I think that would be wrong for us.
All right, then we won't. And she goes back to reading her book. Before too long, you do manage to get to the front of the line because you did kind of beeline it here.
Mhm. And when Ember's beelines it somewhere, like she goes.
Yeah, she goes quick. And you see the sort of human woman that I discovered before. She doesn't look like she's a famous person. She's kind of pretty, like, she's very freckly and she's got kind of disheveled, like long brown hair. Like I mentioned, the cat ears on her head. And when you come to the front of the line, she just goes in kind of a quiet voice, "Hello."
Hi.
I'm Alice.
Right. Yes, you're Alice. I'm a fan of yours.
Thank you. Do you want me to sign something?
Yes, yes. And Embers pulls out the most tattered, flimsy, falling apart, read 100 times copy of which book was it? Of Waltz with the Werecat.
She takes the book and she kind of looks at it and she goes, "Well, you've really read this copy a lot, huh?"
It was one of the only things I had with me in prison.
Oh, well, I'm honored that you would put so much time into reading something that I wrote. And she kind of flips to the through the pages a little bit. Where do you want me to sign it?
I think the sturdiest part is here, and I'll flip to a part that's like kind of still bound together.
Okay.
It's just a random page. It's not like,
yeah, she finds a spot kind of in the margins there.
Yeah.
There's like a little bit of a tear in part of it, and she has to kind of go around that. But she puts her signature in there, and it's kind of like a messy signature. It's not really flowy or loopy. It's just kind of, yeah, a little bit shaky. But she signs your book and says, "Oh, should I make it out to someone?"
Embers hears make out and is, oh no, that's fine. That's okay.
Okay. And she closes it. And then she hands it back to you, but then it seems like she's thinking about something, and she says, she leans back and kind of whispers something to one of the people behind her, who seems to be like one of the staff kind of helping her with this signing event. And the person kind of dashes off and comes back quickly with a sort of a brand new copy of the book. And she presents that to you and says, "For free, just because you're a big fan. And I know you'll probably want to keep your old one, but just,
Oh yeah, yeah.
in case it gets destroyed."
Listen, I came to RomCon to tell you that there was really like two things that got me through prison, and one was the pastor, and the other one was this book. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, nice to meet you. And then the staff calls up the next person, and Esme is just kind of like looking at you as you leave the stand, and she goes, "So is that pretty customary for meeting the author of a book?"
No, I think I really messed that one up.
And she jots it down, and we'll switch to someone else.
Can we give Nick inspiration?
I think, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Who's up?
So your dad is just pulling your son around to all the different merch spots, like at Emerald City Comic Con, just going through Artist Alley and just looking for like every little bit of cool art that's based on all these different novels, and just going through. Well, you see, in that one right there, that's the titular scene of it's a very small, lesser known author's work. This is the titular scene of Stars Crossing, and just goes through just explaining every little thing for way too long. Just the classic. This is the one thing Dad cares about. Day.
Well, I'll tell you a little bit about what you do see as you go through that area. There's artists selling sort of pre-drawn fan art from the various novels that you would know well. But there also seems to be some doing like custom art, like you can request that they draw something specific. There's one artist in particular who does it in the style of like the cover of a romance novel. And you can kind of specify what you want that cover to look like, and they'll draw that. And they even put a little title on it. There are authors who are trying to sell their fanfics for various books, as well as sort of independently published actual novels, people trying to make it big in the romance novel scene. There are people selling like stuffed animals from various creatures that appear in the books. There's some people selling like board games that they've made. And there's a couple stations where those are like out and like people can go up and like test play them. There's pins and badges, figures and statues, some wearing outfits that look like they might fit tuppence. And other various knickknacks. And then there's also costumes for cosplay, and a couple vendors selling custom masks for the masquerade on the third day.
Awesome. Just curious, because I don't think you have, but I'm not 100% sure. Have you named the main characters in Moonlit Majesty?
I know.
Okay, cool. I was pretty sure you hadn't, but okay, cool.
I don't think so.
I haven't either.
Nope. Then yeah, they are unnamed, and I'm ready to type in a name in my note if you want to name them.
And so your dad, after a good amount of time, like this is getting closer to lunch, he's gonna find one of the artists that's doing like custom work, and he's gonna. I was wondering how much a custom portrait would cost.
Well, I just left that section in my note to go right up.
Sorry.
No, I'm on it. I'm scrolling back up. Custom art. Artists sell pre-drawn art for that. Or, oh yeah, that'll only cost you 1 gold piece for a custom piece of art.
So the novel Moonlit Majesty.
Yeah, of course. Very devoted fan base, that one.
Yeah. And Hilda in that. If you could,
I'm aware of Hilda. Yeah, I can draw Hilda.
If you could get a drawing of Hilda, but slightly change the face. Just in the description in the book, just make her cheekbones a little less pronounced, and her hair, instead of a brunette, red, please. And he then goes into detail about her eyes for a bit too long.
Yeah, this author's this artist basically like starts out really enthusiastic, and then as you start to go on, they're like, yep, got it. And they're just like,
and then he turns and your dad turns to your son and just, I wanted to get this for you. Seeing her name in the book is how I knew your mother was, well, going to be your mother.
Aw, that's I never knew that, Dad.
Yeah,
Wait,
Yeah.
did Mom read this stuff too?
oh yeah, we read it together.
Uh, I guess I really should give it a try then at some point. And kind of like grimaces.
And so then I'll pay the extra gold, and I'll pay the gold, and also just slide a second gold piece.
I was about to say,
Because
you better
realized-
tip that artist.
You realize just how ridiculous he was getting.
But yeah, this artist, you had the time to like sort of hand pick, because there were a number of artists available, so you could kind of pick one who seemed to have the style and the level of detail that you liked. And the work comes out, and it seems like all of your specifications are met. And the artist just says, I wasn't sure quite what you wanted me to do with the background. Anything in particular?
No, the important part of the picture is on the page.
All right. And then here it is. And they kind of take the paper off of the canvas that they've got, or the easel that they're drawing on, and hand it to you.
Yeah, I thought this might be a good time to find an artist, because well, we didn't have the time or the money back then to get a family portrait done, so I wanted you to have something when you head off to study.
So you hand the picture to your son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he kind of spends a little while looking down at it. And you can see kind of tears well a little bit in the eye. And he just kind of grabs you into a big hug, with the picture kind of secure in one hand against your back.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Dad. But we're gonna make it so that you can come with me, right? I'm not gonna leave you.
Well, just in case, I've got to stay and work somewhere while you can head off. I just wanted to make sure that at least one of us was with you.
I couldn't leave you, Dad.
Well, you'll have to eventually.
We'll see. And then your son's stomach grumbles loudly.
You didn't eat breakfast, did you?
No, I was I spent longer than I'd care to admit in front of the mirror in this outfit, trying to work up the courage to leave the room wearing such a thing.
Fair enough. I wonder. We'll have to find you a copy of that book that character's from for your own, because it's an interesting one. They spend a lot less time on what I consider to be the focus of these novels than usual. Anyway, let's get some food.
Sounds good, Dad. Kind of puts an arm around your shoulder and walks off with you.
Mhm.
What's Tuppence up to?
Well, after Tuffy indulged in a few pastries, she's going to flitter around in between the tents, and when nobody's looking, she's going to cast invisibility on herself.
Oh, okay. Easy enough.
Then she's going to look for one of those metallic-like sentries, and she's going to
Mhm.
follow one around for a while.
Oh, okay. They're not hard to find. Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
With advantage because invisible.
Yep. Good
Oh, with
call.
advantage. Good, thank you, because that was a 7. Ooh, that's better. That's a 19.
Hey,
And I've got a 3, so 22.
Pretty sure that beats this thing's passive. There's no way it doesn't, right? Yes, yeah. So you kind of tail behind one of these sentinels, and they're basically just like this kind of flowy armor casing without any sort of real substance to it. And then at major joints and things like that, they have these glowing crystals that glow with like a light blue. And
I'm trying to find out if they talk to each other at all, if there's some sort of communication, or if I can find out any secrets, something like that, kind of like malt-like.
why don't you roll? Well, you already rolled a great stealth check. We'll just keep it at that. You follow them around, and they seem to be walking in kind of a pattern. It seems like they're just sort of kind of keeping an eye on the people who are attending the convention and making sure that, no one causes any trouble. Maybe at one point over a long period of, tailing one of them, you might see that like two congoers get in a little bit of a scuffle or something like that. And one of these metallic sentinels is quick to hop in and kind of push them apart, and then kind of give them a stern, silent look, and then continue walking. The other thing that you notice as you're tailing them is they don't seem to talk or communicate because they are pretty silent. But occasionally you do see a pair of them will seem to like make eye contact and stare at each other, like stand staring at each other for a little bit and then continue walking. And then the other thing that happens is frequently they will look towards sort of the central building of the library, stop and stare in that direction for a little bit, and then keep moving.
Okay. All right. And do any of them go inside the building?
Yeah.
I'd like to follow one inside and see if I can kind of follow them to their command station, central station or something.
They don't ever seem to go to like a command. They just kind of seem to constantly patrol.
Okay.
But it does seem like the central library area seems to be their like main hub, and then they kind of patrol out from there in like concentric rings and things like that, sort of creating an effective patrol pattern.
Okay. Got what I want to know. So she'll head back to the pastry stand after when invisibility is about to wear off. That's hard to say. Invisibility.
Invisibility. Yeah.
Tonight. Okay.
And then I guess lunchtime kind of rolls around, and it's probably about time to reconvene.
Yeah.
Vert, as you approach the group, you feel that now very all too familiar feeling as you're kind of approaching Embers, who is sitting by herself, but you feel the little pricks in your mouth of fangs sliding out, and you hear a rumbling in the back of your head, the rumbling of Nyadon preparing to say something.
The ever-comforting voice of Nihedon comes into my...
I didn't test my audio in advance. Let's hope this works.
Vertinor.
It works. Yes.
What do you intend to do with that octahedron you recovered?
I was thinking about showing it to the to Esme.
Should I take that to mean you trust her? Because that would be unwise.
You're gonna have to give me more information before I believe you or believe her, one way or the other.
Has she not stated herself that she allies herself with your enemy, the Emperor?
She allies herself with the supposed past version of him, right?
This is true.
Yeah.
But his atrocities against your people stretch back just as long, do they not?
Perhaps. I'm not sure. As far as I know, this might just be more information gathering. If she's close to him, maybe we can learn more about him.
I do not think we need to learn more. I think we need to strike before she can become an ally of his.
Well, we collectively might not need to learn more, but I don't know enough.
Fine, but if an opportunity arises, I strongly suggest you take it.
Okay.
And as Nyadon says that, you feel the fangs in your mouth stretch out more than they ever have before.
Great.
And the implication is clear.
Great. I'm really hungry. My stomach's growling too, so that must be why.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
My voice went back to normal, right? Just
No.
to check.
Yes, it
Okay,
Yes.
good. Good.
Funny if it didn't though. It's always a nice conversation with him.
Who?
I said that to myself, not to anyone
Okay.
else. Okay. Yeah, so I'll just take a seat at the table with everybody else, assuming that we're all still gathering, or
Well, what did everyone get up to? We went through and saw all the artists. Amazing, amazing work. You really got to take a look when you have the chance. But do beware, you will spend all your gold. And Tuppence, I did see a few outfits that look like they might fit you, and even one or two that seemed like they were quality enough to be worn as like actual clothes.
Wow. So I don't know if I would recognize any of the characters. Maybe you could help me.
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to.
Could wear it. I could wear it tomorrow. We're coming back tomorrow, right?
I certainly hope so.
Yes, of course.
I mean, why
Yes.
wouldn't we? Unless something catastrophic happened, but that never happens at these kind of things. And then he takes a big bite of something.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
I hope
message
it was in my
Elwyn.
color.
I'm gonna message Elwyn and say that I'm gonna hold off on showing Esme the object for a little bit.
DM has successfully bullied you with the voice in your mind.
Yeah, pretty much. At least for now, while I can contemplate.
All right,
So,
I won't mention it.
so what did you two get up to?
Well, we were just
Did you
checking
go off and
things
have a
out.
little side panel of your own?
No, we've got business to attend to, members.
Did we do?
Well, some of us has got to work while y'all are playing.
Okay.
Did you hear that, Ember? She said they got busy.
Ah,
We know, don't we? We know.
We were
Sure.
just people watching.
You guys can hear the scratching of a pen or quill on paper from next to Embers.
They
Uh,
are selling quite a bit of interesting things here.
Torn, what have you been up to?
He's asking Torin.
Oh, Torin.
The mic
Sorry.
cut off a bit.
I,
But
I
yeah.
don't know who I heard there. Yeah, Torin Torin actually doesn't have much food on his plate right now, because he looks at Tuppence and he says, well, I first thing I did was I went around and sampled all of the different available food vendors. So I'm a bit stuffed.
Good for you. How was it? Anything favorite?
I don't know what would have been his favorite, but what would Torin like? There's probably like
Hot dog.
no, it's probably like some weird festival like meat dish where it's like meat deep fried and then wrapped in meat and deep fried again, that sort of thing. And that would be his favorite, and he tells you about that.
Good, good, good. You need to gain a
Olin
little
is
weight.
trying really hard to maintain a demeanor of not being absolutely grossed out by that description.
Yep.
She's looking a little greener around the
Elwyn the
gills.
pescatarian over there.
Yep. Yep. Elwyn the pescatarian. It's like, oof. Yep. That sounds awful.
Embers leans over to the space next to her and says, "Now, Elwyn and Vert are the kind of people who hold hands."
Well, Ellen and who?
And Coco.
Luckily, Torin doesn't notice you whispering to the air because he's busy looking directly at the sun or something.
Can I ask? This might be a mean question.
Yeah.
Can Torin read?
Yeah, I think Torin can read.
Okay.
You'd
I
have
think that would
to.
kind of be a requirement
Yeah.
of
Of the being
mean,
a
he's
warden,
an imperial
you can't be
warden.
an illiterate warden, right?
I mean,
Could.
Read
he
your
had
orders and
paperwork
stuff like
Probably
he
that.
had
could.
to do in the first season. He had paperwork.
He did
had
have
Yeah,
paper. Yeah, he can
yeah.
read.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. He did have paper. I forgot about that.
But like when he writes, it would definitely be like really straight lines that are, you know what I mean?
It's like
Yeah.
print. It's like
Yeah.
block writing.
There's no curve to his letters.
Yeah.
It's like all angles and
That's
straight
really
lines
funny.
and stuff. Yeah.
I think so.
And he's not a fast reader for sure.
Yeah.
But
Oh man. I think that with the new discomfort in his mouth, he's gonna grab his sandwich. Vert's gonna grab a sandwich and be like, I'm gonna go back outside and finish this and look around a little bit more. And he's gonna excuse himself from the table. And then when his
well, Dad, what's up next? Sorry.
I was gonna
I
say when his
thought
mouth
you
gets
were
back to
ending there.
normal, he's gonna finish
Yeah.
the sandwich.
Okay, sounds good.
I don't know. It might be fun to go do something together. I mean, what's one of the next activities? And I flip open the brochure.
There
And then
Um,
flip
kind of
it right side
games
up.
or some panels or something we can check out on the inside.
Yeah, there's various panels about like starting your fanfic, developing characters, how to write romantic scenes, all kinds of different things from various levels of, famous authors and stuff like that. The panels featuring like the star authors of this convention are kind of few and far between. But let's see. There would probably be one or two. Raylan might have a panel about like, what am I thinking? What's the word I'm looking for? Shoot, I'm just totally blanking. When you allude to something else,
Metaphor?
yeah, like metaphor, it's just like, yes. Anyways, yeah, fancy writing stuff. She'd have a fancy writing panel. Symbolism, yeah, that's closer, I think.
Symbolism, I think, is what you want.
I think it is like symbolism and how to work in nature via symbolism and stuff like that. Like it's a very hoity-toity fancy writer panel for sure. But yeah, and then like I said, there's also all kinds of like games and stuff that you can kind of hop into whenever. People also seem to be like starting up games here and there as they want to. So like, I mean, your dad could totally start up like a Clubstone game somewhere if he wanted to.
Don't you put that idea in my mind?
Oh, I wish they could have seen your expression. That was so cute. His eyes got like 10 times bigger.
Really big.
Oh.
Yeah, there's like fan art contests and cosplay contests and stuff going on. So it's up to you.
Oh, y'all should enter the cosplay contest since you put so much work into your costumes.
That would be so fun to watch. Do you have to get in like character and stuff and like quote lines, or do you just
Coco's got
parade in front of?
his line down pretty well.
Yeah.
You guys see Coco kind of off a little ways by himself, and a couple kind of approaches and you can tell how this conversation goes even from far away. They are asking him to see his wares and see what kind of food he's offering.
And
Fantasy hot dog on a stick.
there you go. That's what I give him.
Yep.
What a cute couple. That's all he says and walks away.
Well, what's up
What-
next? Somebody do something.
What do you think?
I mean, is there a cosplay competition happening right now, or is that like later?
Yeah, absolutely. There is. I mean, it's kind of an ongoing thing. There's like cosplay competitions every day, a couple times throughout the day. So
Well, let's go check it out.
This is gonna be great.
So this, I think, would probably be within the library in one of there's like a big auditorium area where you suspect people would come for like public readings of things. And the auditorium is like packed with people just kind of watching the proceedings. But basically you have kind of an MC who is officiating the event. And then whoever wants to can sort of come down onto the stage and sort of show off their cosplay, do a couple lines if they want to. And basically anyone's welcome to kind of put on a little performance. And then it seems like ushers at the ends of the aisles are like collecting, ratings from the audience on little slips of paper and sort of putting those together.
Yeah, I'll go sit in the audience for that.
Yep.
have a-
I'll sit with you.
I have a vested interest in how this goes.
Yeah, I guess I'll bring your son
Oh,
and start and go to
wait.
like get in line.
Your dog, come here.
Yes.
Just for luck. And I'm going to place my hand on his shoulder and cast enhance ability. I'm going to give you Eagle Splendor. So you have advantage on all your charisma checks.
And I'll whisper back. Smart. You've got it all going on up here in the brain category. And I
Thank you.
immediately turn around and try to like, now let's all get ready and do our best. And I slap your son on the back, on like kind of clap him over the shoulder. And I want to try to stealthily cast enhance ability equal splendor on your son.
Yeah, sure. Roll like I mean, I guess sleight of hand or stealth, or if you
both
got something
bad.
else that seems applicable, either one.
I might as well just go with stealth because rolling with disadvantage about this is funny.
Okay, sure.
Oh, it's not funny.
Sometimes that's how it is. Sometimes
Trust
I'm
me,
just-
some-
I'm gonna
it's
fail
still
a roll and you
15.
don't.
It's
So-
still 15.
Yeah, you don't think anyone notices you cast the spell, but everyone around you does notice because your dog rolled a 2 on a strength save and falls over the pew in front of you. Basically lands in a heap in the row in front because it's kind of like a descending auditorium. So,
And just, look at him!
Dad!
Look at him already in character.
Help me up, someone.
Embers reads it down.
I know they say break a leg, but I don't think they mean it literally.
I don't think I actually did, but ow, my back.
Oh, that's my boy.
Good luck.
Okay.
So
No one
has
else wanted
Coco
to like.
rejoined us? I think he needs to get up there too.
Mm-hmm.
Was that me?
Yeah.
Coco, yeah.
Oh yeah. I guess I could have. I mean, I don't know how much time had passed, but yeah, I can meet up with everybody and try my best.
Okay. Did anyone else who doesn't have a cosplay want to buy one and kind of join in?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Okay.
Happy you didn't want to get one of the figurine costumes.
Oh, that's for tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'll
Ellen's not
watch
doing it.
today. See what
Absolutely.
it's all
not.
about.
Okay.
We're
Uh,
cheering from the stands.
Yeah.
well then, who wants to go first to like step up onto the stage? It's absolutely not your son.
Then
I'll do it.
do you want to go? Or all right, go
Sure.
for it.
So Coco will walk up there bravely.
And the MC kind of walks over to you as you step up onto the stage. All right, what's your name and who are you cosplaying as today? I'm sorry, I don't recognize the character.
I'm Coco, and I am cosplaying as the market vendor from what's it called, Sunlight Splendor or something, or was it? I don't.
Was it Moonlit Majesty or?
And
It was-
it was from Starlit Sovereign.
Starlight
Starlight
Sovereign.
Sovereign.
Yeah, I need to write that down. I wrote down what it was. Yeah.
Deep cut. Okay. And the person walks back over to where they have kind of like a voice amplification device, just like a cone that they're shouting into, I guess. And here we have Coco playing as food vendor from Starlit Sovereign. Wait, which one was it?
Yeah.
Starlit Sovereign. And the crowd just kind of like unenthusiastically claps a little bit with
Ellen
confusion.
stands and is clapping really loud and cheering.
Sorry, Coco sounds like it should be a poodle jumping through hoops.
Yeah,
Hey,
when
that
you step up on your stage, what's the routine?
Yeah, so he steps up there like extremely confidently, like knowing what it's about, even though he's just been told it the other day. And then he stands there and kind of pretends that he's at his storefront, and then kind of does the pose that he was told in the book, and then points out and says, "What a cute couple." And then he stands there for a minute, let people absorb it, and then he excuses himself off the stage.
Roll a performance check.
I did, and I got a 23.
Oh dang!
Yes!
So there's a large chunk of the audience, like I want to say 4/5 of it, that doesn't really understand and pretty much just like gives a polite little golf clap. But there's 1/5 of the audience that just like stands up and just whoa! And they're just like shouting like crazy.
I rolled a 19.
It's just like every single Lawrence Starpike fan is going crazy for this, and everyone else is just like, yeah, whatever.
I'll just point at him and give him a nod. Like, you guys are a cute couple too. I'll walk off the stage. I'll meet up with everybody else.
The MC comes over to your dad. All right, you know the drill. Sorry, again, I don't recognize your character, but what's your name?
It's fine. It's Kayala, the bartender from Moonlit Majesty.
And your name?
Your Dodd.
Right. Okay. And the person goes forward, and they like get the cone again, and they shout into it. I'm not gonna shout and break everyone's ears again, but yeah, the crowd again, sort of confused reaction. Who are these people? What's your routine when you step up on stage?
Your Dodd is going to go up, and as though like he's gonna gloss over, like kind of mentally, and just go into a routine from what he remembers of working at the tavern, and it's just all pantomime.
No words.
Of just setting up a bar for too long, and then
Okay.
finally, while miming like cleaning a glass, he's just gonna look up. So, what'll it be? And then he walks off stage.
Performance check.
With advantage.
Yep.
Yep. That's how it. Oh my god. So that is a natural 20 for
Yes, it is.
20.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's the same sort of thing as Coco's, though, where it's like most of the people are like really confused, but you see that like you can, those of you who are in the audience can see like the light of recognition come on in their eyes as they at least recognize, wow, this is a really good pantomime of a bartender. And like some people actually start to really get into it. They're just watching, like the motions are just perfect. And yeah, so a good portion of the crowd, not just the like 1/5 who cheered for Coco earlier, but like a good portion of the crowd actually get really into it, and you're just there's applause and cheers as you leave the stage.
This is the greatest thing.
Well
This is the
done.
greatest
Well
thing.
done.
And your dog's
Um,
just
You made me so
You-
thirsty.
The group of you see your son is next in line, and the MC walks up to him, and your son, like kind of flustered, has some sort of conversation with the MC, and then the MC comes back to the front of the stage and says, "We have your son playing unknown character from unknown novel," and your son kind of strides up onto the stage, like pulls out the clipboard, pulls out a pen from the pocket, scribbles some notes, pushes up the glasses, kind of adjusts the lab coat, and begins to walk off stage. And we'll see how your son does. Do you have your son's charisma modifier?
if you give me like 2 seconds, I can pull it up.
I will roll, and then we'll just add whatever it is. Oh, it's actually a pretty decent roll.
Oh my God.
is. Wait, is this a performance check?
Yeah.
Dana, why are you proficient? So my friend made the character sheet for your son. So it's that performance check is a +4.
Oh, snap. That's a 20 total.
Amazing.
Dang, we're knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, your son basically starts to walk up the stage. Apparently, like you can see he's feeling like a little awkward, and there's a little bit of like a blush in the cheeks. But someone in the crowd, like there's almost no reaction at first, but then someone in the crowd shouts, "Hey, you did your best, and that was great!" And everyone erupts in like this really loud cheer.
Your dad's just full standing ovation. Just that's my boy.
Embers leans into Elwin and says, "Maybe I should have done something. It seems really easy to get a reaction out of this crowd."
Well, there's always tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, the next person who comes up rolled an 18 on dice. If you stick around to watch, though, the person after them flubs it. It's just like, I don't know, they're wearing like cardboard boxes. It's like they're trying to wear, they were trying to make armor or something like that, and it's just like cardboard boxes, and they don't really know what they're like. They get really kind of scared when they come up on the stage, and they just gotta stand there and then just like eep and run away, and that doesn't get much of a reaction. So
Never mind, that would be me.
I'm sure you could do better than that.
What's up next?
Did we win?
So winners won't be announced for a bit.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But if you stick around and watch and wait for winners to be announced, certainly, I think, let's see, it was your dog rolled a 20 total, right? Which matched your son, 20 total. That's magical. And then Coco rolled like what, a 24?
23.
23. I think you guys probably win, weirdly.
Yes.
First, second, and third prize.
Yeah.
Somehow for this round. There's like several rounds of this
Yeah,
competition throughout. Like people were just really into your weirdness, apparently. First prize is actually really good. Coco, you win like a small radio device.
Okay.
Kind of like the radio that you had in your room that could like play music and things like that. But it's like it's not like a big standing one. It's like a smaller portable one.
Okay.
The prizes go a bit downhill from there. They're not as grand after first prize. Since you guys were kind of tied for second and third, I guess you'd get both. And since you're together, that works out. We'll say that second prize is like 15 gold pieces. And then third prize is a coupon for a free pastry at the pastry shop near the entrance. So just made up prizes
Yeah.
on the fly, but there you go.
Good job, team.
What was Tuppence here, or was Tuppence doing something else?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
No costume, saving it for tomorrow.
Well, that was a lot of great work. Wasn't that worth doing? That was fun. You did amazing up there, all three of you.
Apparently.
I really didn't think that anyone was going to cheer for me.
Of course, people are gonna cheer for you. You did great. You always do great, even when you don't know what you're doing.
Well, apparently, he kind of like waves the coupon for the pastry shop.
And this is Rom Com. You know, we're surrounded by people who love love. There's
That's
no better
true.
people in the world.
And Coco, I can't believe it that you had it in you.
Yeah. I'm excited for your performance tomorrow.
Yeah.
Maybe
Just
we'll
a
get 2
flawless
radios.
delivery.
Hold up the radio.
I might have to read up about this. I don't know any of the books.
Oh,
Oh,
your,
well, I think
your
between
son
Embers and
didn't
me,
either.
you're
I mean, I
set.
didn't either.
Who among you? I mean, you were all kind of watching the performance, but those of you who are watching the performance, can you roll a perception check?
Sure.
We're indoors now, so no more disadvantage.
Yeah, that's true.
Yay, 21.
That's really good.
Natural 20.
Even better.
26 total.
I got
Okay.
an 8.
So, Elwyn and Embers, you guys both rolled phenomenally well, and you really had to catch this. But this place is crowded, and there's a lot of bustle now that this event is ending. But as you're kind of standing as a group and congratulating, your comrades for their your companions for their performances, you spot something, both of you, kind of out of the corner of your eye at the back of the auditorium, and you swear it's a familiar face with sort of snake-like eyes and emerald green scales under them, but it quickly disappears. Just sort of a figure among the crowd, and then she's gone.
I noticed Embers was looking in that direction. I'll just try to catch her eye and just raise an eyebrow.
Did you see?
I think so.
Should we?
Maybe.
I'll go. I can sneak
I
around a
can-
little bit.
I can send something after it too, if. like,
Embers is just like gets it quietly.
Okay.
And just says like, do what you gotta do.
Be careful.
Gonna, I guess, roll a perception or stealth. I'm gonna try and follow or find.
Yeah, it'd be perception probably,
Okay.
or investigation if you're looking for like signs of like a trail of some kind.
Let's.
Oh, I'll cast guidance on you before you go.
Okay. Could that be survival if I'm looking for a trail?
Yeah, I'd say survival could work.
Okay.
It'll be a little bit tough to look for a trail.
Mhm. Yeah, because we're in the middle of a huge crowd.
Crowded space, but
Yeah. Would that be a disadvantage then?
no.
Okay.
I'll just set the DC a bit higher.
DC's that, okay. So I've got guidance for this though. Ooh. Well, I'm not gonna do it with that roll. 13.
13. Yeah, you kind of rush to the top of the auditorium area, and it's a little bit difficult because even with your dexterity and ability to kind of like, bend and twist in ways that others might not be able to, it takes you a little while to get up to the top to where you think you saw this person. And by the time you're there, the crowd has completely changed. Like all of the faces that are up there now are completely different from the ones that were before. And you're looking around and there is just no sign.
Yeah, I'll make my way back to Ellen and say sorry. I if she was there, I lost her.
All right. I'm going to.
But I think we should warn the others.
I can still send a cat after it. Maybe
Okay,
following
yeah.
the smell or something.
Go for it.
All right, then yeah, I will summon my familiar, my wild companion.
Mhm.
A little subdued flurry of snowflakes on the ground. A little white furred cat appears, and I will give it the instruction to follow a snake-like scent. Send
Okay.
it off in the direction she disappeared.
You can roll a, I guess, perception or survival or investigation check, whichever one you want to do for your cat. I think perception probably because you get your advantage, right?
Yeah, perception gets the advantage. Yes, like you said. Like you said. It's not a big bonus, but
If Tuppy knows by now, she'll give Owen inspiration. I mean, yeah, bardic inspiration.
I don't think that transfers.
Oh, I
That's
had
what
to familiar,
inspiration.
though.
Can I? I guess.
Retroactively
I
use
guess.
it.
I guess we're past that part.
I mean, I'd allow it if you want to.
Okay. I don't
Do
want to
it.
step. Well, let's see if Alvin's thing works. I
Okay,
don't wanna
fair
step-
enough.
Step on what you're doing.
Yes, the cat got a 19.
A
on the
19.
perception check.
The cat. Are you watching through its eyes or just sort of waiting for it to come back?
Yeah, I'll hang on to Embers' arm and I'll watch through its eyes.
Okay.
For at least as long as I can until it gets out of range.
The cat winds through people's legs, and it is a chaotic perspective from down here. But it makes its way out of the room entirely, and kind of back into sort of a more secluded area of the library, where there doesn't seem to be quite as much foot traffic. And it sort of slinks around a set of bookshelves, and you see from its vision, certainly the form of Kashura, having shed her Dragon Tooth Brotherhood robe and wearing just more typical, like bare-sleeved monk attire with like arm wraps and stuff like that. But what you see is her skin is actually changing slightly. It looks like there are kind of scales rippling a little bit across her skin. And it looks like they were, for a brief moment, sort of camouflaging against the bookshelves, but they're changing back to like normal skin tone. And I will see if she notices.
I
your
would like to
cat.
say, as the cat is following the track, I'm narrating it to Embers, everything I'm seeing and where I'm going. The whole time. I
Mhm.
can't hear or see anything, but I can talk to them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
happening. Yeah. That's it.
So you need a stealth check.
Oh yeah. Could you make a stealth check for your cat? That's what I was going to
Yes.
ask for.
Yes. I can do that. Oh, another good roll. 21.
21. Okay. It doesn't seem like she's noticed your cat,
Great.
but she does seem to be kind of like peering back around bookshelves the way that she came.
Yeah, I'm just gonna observe and do nature documentary style narration for Embers.
She seems to be waiting there for now.
Okay.
Yep.
I think when Elwyn tells me that the cat sees her waiting, I'm gonna let go of Elwyn's arm and say sorry, and make my way over to there.
To the place where Elwyn narrated
Yeah.
you to?
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone tell the rest of the party, or does
was
Embers
just
just
wondering.
disappear?
I don't think I have the presence of mind to tell anybody what I was doing.
Okay.
All right. Then when I feel Embers let go of my arm, I will come back to myself and look around and be like, where's everybody? And I'll go up to Tuppence and Coco and I'll just say quietly, an old friend is here. Follow me. And I'll just start walking out.
Okay. So you guys are probably like a few seconds behind Embers at least. But Embers is quick, so that distance probably closes before too long.
Yeah. Okay.
Embers, as you're dashing off, you hear, before you get too far away, you hear kind of a sound from right by you. And it's Esme's voice, and she says, "Hey, where are we going?"
Stick with the others. There's somebody dangerous here, and we're trying to make sure that they don't cause trouble.
She says, "Oh, okay. No, I'm gonna come with you just in case."
Okay.
And you can hear her behind you, though she's invisible, and not quite keeping up with you, but still a little bit ahead of everybody else. Does everyone else just follow when Elwyn makes that declaration?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going
Embers,
to, as we start approaching, cast Pass Without Trace just on the group of us.
the secondary group, makes sense.
Yeah.
Embers, how is your approach to the area that Elwyn described?
I'm trying to blend with the crowd and keep myself hidden.
Okay. So a stealth check then.
Yeah, and this is what I'm going to use my inspiration on. Oh, why is this all so bad? I rolled 7 and 6, so that's a 14.
Let's take a look. Okay. You kind of approach that area, and you're able to kind of like circle around the other direction from where Elwyn said that Kashura was kind of peeking around the bookshelves. And sure enough, when you kind of come around that side of the bookshelves, you can see Kashura standing there. And she seems to be watching and waiting with sort of eager anticipation, but she doesn't seem to have spotted you immediately.
Okay. I am just going to get behind her and say, enjoying the con?
And she whips her head over in your direction, and you can see there's kind of like some sort of magical sparkle or gleam over her eyes. And she smiles and says, "Ah, there you are." And she throws a fist forward, and she's got a kind of like a metal gauntlet on it. But you can see that as she throws the punch, a device on the back of the gauntlet opens up, and you can see an eyeball, what looks like an actual eyeball, in the center of the gauntlet, and a beam of light fires out from the eyeball and strikes a space. It misses you. It goes over your shoulder, and it strikes a space behind you, and you hear, "Oh dear." And then there's a thump, and Esme falls to the ground, seemingly unconscious. And we will pick up there next week.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, oh.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! Now Naihadan needs to say that too. Oh no!
Oh
no!
Yeah. Thank you all for playing. Thank you to anyone who came by to watch. We will pick up with this exciting scene next time. There's probably a lot more Rom Con to come as well in the future, depending on how this goes. And yeah, I will plan out this situation for next week. So we'll see you all then. Bye.
Hi.
See ya.
Bye.
Night.